Good morning. They were astonished at his teachings because he spoke with authority. Jesus spoke with authority. The demon, the unclean spirit, recognized the Holy One of God, and even they recognized his authority. What is this authority? It is God speaking to the ears of our hearts. We learn from today's first reading, as St. Paul is writing to the Corinthians, that the Spirit of God speaks with authority, and because, as he says at the end of the reading, but we have the mind of Christ, we can share in this mind of Christ because the second person of the Trinity became man and took on our nature fully. He enabled us through grace to bask in the mystery of God. We do not fully understand these mysteries, but with the grace, we can begin to know how to love rightly, as St. Paul writes, so that we may understand the things freely given us by God, and we speak about them not with words taught by human wisdom, but with words taught by the Spirit. Natural man who, without the authoritative words of Christ, cannot accept. C.S. Lewis lays out this idea brilliantly in his masterpiece, The Screwtop Letters. The Screwtop Letters is a collection of 31 fictional letters written by a senior demon by the name of Screwtape to Wormwood, his less experienced nephew, who is tasked with tempting a young British man called the Patient away from the enemy, who is God, and towards the Father below, Satan. It gives us some great insight into how demons can tempt men and women daily and how cunning Satan and his dominion genuinely are. In the 19th letter from Screwtape to his nephew, he goes into detail about why Satan is mad and confused by God. The truth is, I slipped by mere carelessness into saying that the enemy loves the humans. That, of course, is an impossibility. He is one being. They are distinct from him. Their good cannot be his. All his talk about love must be disguised for something else. He must have some real motive for creating them and taking such trouble about them. The reason one comes to talk as if he really had this impossible love is our utter failure to find out the real motive. What does he stand to make out of them? That is the insoluble question. I do not see that I can do any harm to tell you that this very problem was a chief cause of our Father's quarrel with the enemy. The world cannot understand how someone can love without personal gain. The spirit of the world is always looking for an angle, and the word of God, heard with great authority, is teaching us how to love unconditionally without an angle, to love without any personal gain. This is the love Christ is teaching us, the love demons in the world call foolishness. The steadfast love of God, the love of God is showering upon us every millisecond of every day. The love Jesus calls us to emulate deeper and deeper in our hearts for him and all our brothers and sisters. A love that demons cannot comprehend and drives them crazy. The love that brings light to darkness. I call upon each of us today to let this love of Christ penetrate our hearts more deeply than ever before, and to pray that the deepest love we have today is the shallowest for tomorrow, so that we can cry out with the lips of our hearts, louder and with more authority every day, Jesus, I trust in you.